Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be making hopefully a quick tutorial on how to make a dash system. This is something I use fairly often. I seem to put it on almost all my avatars nowadays. It's very simple, but it is not Quest compatible. Before I get started, I do want to shout out to a creator here, Toolbox Multi. He has a video on how to fly, and that's basically how I learned how to do this. At one point, I ran into another creator called Shroomy. They're an amazing avatar creator, and they dashed around the world, and I asked them how they did that. They explained that you have to basically fly, and you make the fly collider hit your feet at a high speed. So if you watch Multi, if you watch his video, you can kind of figure out how to do this pretty easily. But there's one thing that you need to do that's a little different. So first we're going to right click, we're going to create an empty, we're going to make a cube. We don't need the component for the mesh, but we do need the collider. That's what we're looking for. The one thing that's different is in his video he has it smaller. He shrinks the box, but for dashing you don't want to make it small. In fact, having it fairly big is pretty good. I'm going to put it back a little bit because the idea is it's going to go back and forth. We don't need a mesh render. We are going to add a rotation constraint. And we need to find our head. This is all, like I said, exactly the same as Monty's. And we're going to activate it, and we're going to get rid of the Y and Z. This way it won't tilt left and right, because if our box doesn't stay flat, if it goes up, tilts up or tilts left and right or tilts down, then things will get kind of nasty for our character. And we can rename this as Dash. And all you need to do is make an animation. Don't really worry about that. Dashing. And we're going to do one frame where it's here. I'm actually going to go to a few frames of it back and then a few frames of it forward. So 1, 2, so it's going to stay right here. And then at frame 4, it's going right here. It's going to look like this. And I don't know if the size, I'm not the 100% at this, I don't know if the size of the box or anything of that does have a factor. You can also have another animation where you can toggle it on and off. But the way I have it set up, it doesn't really matter too much. We're going to make a new animation, or a new layer, dash, make a bool. Actually, we don't even need that. We don't need a bool. And we're going to make an empty. And we're going to have our dashing right here. And the way I do it, and you can do it multiple ways, you can have a toggle if you want to toggle this collider off. That's if you know how to do that, that's very simple. Doesn't have next time. And I'm actually going to use, oh, this doesn't have that parameter. We need int. I always forget how this is. VR chat parameter. VR animator parameters. We're going to go gesture right. That's what we want to do. Gesture right. And I think it's 1 is fist. We're actually going to look real quick. Yeah, 1. And so to start this, gesture right equals 1. For it to not be doing that, gesture right does not equal 1. And that's pretty much all you need to do. Very simple. So I use the Quest controller. I jump by pressing in the analog stick, and then I make a fist. And when I complete that fist, it makes me dash forward at a high speed. That's basically it. You can change people. I've seen other people do things where they like. There's a parameter here for grounded, so you can say something like, if grounded is false, then do that. There's also your velocity for X, Y, and Z. I believe Y should be your up and down motion. So you could do both is grounded as false and Y velocity is negative, i.e. you're falling down. And when those two conditions are true, then it does it automatically. I've tried that before and it didn't fully work. And this will kind of go based off of the direction you're moving. If you want to have it go like a dash backwards, you're going to have to basically do this same thing, but instead of it going from behind, you have it in front and it's going back. I actually had an avatar that had all four directions and it was based off of your movement using these velocities right here, your Z and X velocity. It somewhat worked. I could probably figure it out to make it work a little bit better, but it's not. So far, I like this system the best of all my attempts at it. Is just have it a fist, and make sure you have your loop time on, and that's about it. It's pretty simple, but I use it all the time. I have a hard time not using it sometimes. So I did hop back in. I thought it would be a good idea to actually show you kind of what it's like. It might be hard for me because I am on desktop, but I jump, I press the F1 or F2 to make a fist with my right hand, and I go forward. See? Fast movement. I don't know if there's an easy way to calculate how fast you go. I don't know if like increasing the speed of the animation will do anything, because you can't go over here and increase the speed. I don't know if that really does anything, or if making the box bigger or smaller does anything. I do know that when I was doing the trial, when I originally, my first avatar had the flying version where it was shrunken down based off of our friend here. He shrinks his box down for flying purposes, and it kind of worked. I could do like a flying and a dashing kind of thing, but I've never been able to recreate it. So if you want to do both, it might be good just to have another box collider that stays on your feet, that is a fly one, and then you have one that is for dashing. But